Let's move into our fourth and final main topic today. And our fourth and final main topic today gets submitted to us by Gab, who writes, "It was announced that Artemis Fowl, an upcoming Disney movie, will be going directly to streaming on Disney Plus instead of going to theaters this May 29th. Personally, I think it's a good move considering it was, in my opinion, going to make them lose money anyway, considering there's no hype and that the trailers were, in my opinion, bad. Thank you, and bring on the filthy." All right, thanks a lot for saying that in, Gab. And yep, in the midst of this unprecedented situation that we're in with the lockdown and all this kind of stuff, Disney has made the announcement official. They have decided to pull Artemis Fowl from the release schedule, and they're going to release it directly on Disney Plus. A surprise. Not the hugest surprise. Rob, you'll remember a number of weeks ago we were talking about the possibility of Disney moving some of their movies off of the theatrical schedule, either onto VOD or onto Disney Plus, to which I said, oh no, that's not going to happen. And I said, well, I mean, if it's going to happen to any of them, I suppose it would be Artemis Fowl. But I don't think Artemis Fowl will do that. I mean, to be clear, I don't think Artemis Fowl, but if it's going to be any of them, and I guess it would probably be Artemis Fowl. It's not tracking well. It's actually tracking zero. Everybody seemed to hate the trailers. This was a movie that was going to lose them a lot of money. And I suppose in retrospect that the fact of the matter is too, Disney makes a lot of movies. And right now, everything's getting pushed and pushed and pushed, which is going to create a backlog catalog of movies that need to get released. And I suppose it made sense, I guess, although I am still surprised. It made sense that you might as well take one and take it out of that rotation to give it a little bit more breathing room, to give the schedule a little bit more breathing room, and drop this on Disney Plus. In hindsight, it makes sense. This movie, to a lot of people, looked terrible. I think I am the only person in the known universe that actually thought the trailer was kind of good. I remember I got onto it and I said, you know what? I don't know Artemis Fowl. I never read Artemis Fowl, but I looked at this trailer. I thought it was pretty good. Holy crap. I mean, I had people literally offended at me that I said I liked the trailer. It's like, how dare, I literally had tweets sent to me using the words, how dare you, when I said I actually liked the trailer. But hey, whatever. So clearly most people hated the trailers. Nobody was buzzing about this. This was a movie that was going to lose Disney an unspeakable amount of money regardless. So I suppose it makes sense if you're going to move any, that's the one to move. Although for the record, I'm still surprised. I still thought they would have kept it on there. So they're moving that, and I suppose it makes sense. What a lot of people, Rob, then have understandably then wrote to me and asked is, well, wait a minute. You know, the Theater Association got real upset at, say, Universal when they pulled what is also destined to be a money loser, Trolls, and went straight to VOD. Are they going to be equally as upset with Disney on this? And I would say no. And the reason I would say no, Rob, is because of something that you said and something I said as well before, which is, you know, if Universal, one of the things that the theaters were clearly upset at Universal was that while every other studio was in open, long communication with the theaters and going through their steps and which movies they were going to bump and how and why and all that kind of stuff, the theaters were really pissed off that Universal, their supposed partners, literally gave them no notice and just dropped the news that they were doing it, and they felt very cut out of the loop. I guarantee you that Disney has been in communication probably for weeks with the theaters about this. And if I'm Disney, Rob, what I think Disney's pitch to the theaters was that, look, we're obviously, once the theaters open back up, we're going to be facing a backlog. And we're going to have a lot of films that we need to get into theaters. And our thinking is, why bother forcing out there a movie that we know isn't going to make us any money and is probably not going to make you guys, the theaters, any money? Why don't we pull that one out so your screens can be populated with movies that will probably make more money than this one and therefore make you more money with this one? Regardless of what their pitch to the theaters was, I guarantee you Disney was in deep, long communication with the theaters about this move, which makes it completely different from the situation with Universal. That's what I think, at any rate. Rob, you see that they pulled Artemis Fowl off the release schedule. Number one, were you surprised like I was that they did it? And number two, if they're going to pull any movie, was this the right movie to pull, or should they have maybe pulled another one? How do you see it?
Well, first of all, I was excited about Artemis Fowl for no other reason than Kenneth Branagh directed it.
Yep.
I mean, Kenneth Branagh, who directed Thor and Cinderella, has always done right by Disney. I mean, Kenneth Branagh he's been directing for decades now, all the way back to Henry V. I'm a big fan of Branagh's work, and I think that I was very surprised. But on the other hand, this film, obviously, you could tell there was no real excitement in the fan community. People weren't buzzing like this about this movie. They know what the tracking numbers are. And I think it's a $125 million budgeted film or something like that. And I think they're looking at this as, look, we're not going to have any movies, and we don't have the Marvel shows have been pushed. We need a big movie that we can advertise, hopefully, on our streaming service that'll bring people. Everybody wants more subscribers. And I think of all of the things in their pipeline, it's not like Disney has 30 movies. You know, they're obviously not going to put one of their major Pixar releases, even though they did with Onward after it was in the theaters. But I think this was the right move for them. This is a way that they're saying, look, we were going to put this in theaters, but again, this tsunami of craziness has hit us. And I think they made a pivot with this movie. That was a good thing to do. They're looking at the numbers, the theatrical numbers, and this could, being on Disney Plus, be maybe a big hit for them. Maybe it will drive subscriptions. I mean, you never know. But I think of everything that they had, this was probably the only movie that they could have done this with. And I don't think it was a bad decision.
No, it probably does make sense. But I mean, at the same time, are there really a lot of people out there who was like, Disney Plus hasn't been for me, but you put Artemis Fowl on there, I'm signing up for Disney Plus. I mean, really, is that really going to represent mathematically a significant? I don't know. But who knows? I mean, who knows? The crazier things have happened. It's going to be interesting. I think this was a situation, Rob, where Disney realized, look, Artemis Fowl is a loss for us. We already know that before it's opened. So we keep it in theaters, we lose. We put it directly to Disney Plus, we lose. But hey, maybe there's some upside if we move it to Disney Plus as a release and we paint it, we spin it in such a way of, look, everybody, we're putting it directly to Disney Plus. Look how great Disney Plus is. At least maybe there's a positive way to spin it. Hey, look, I don't know what the other alternatives were, so I agree with you, dude. I think you've nailed that on the head. Question is, guys, what do you think about that move to put Artemis Fowl? It surprises me. Maybe it doesn't surprise you, but I thought probably makes sense. Maybe you don't think it makes sense. What do you think about this whole thing? Jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Okay, guys.